Okay, so I'm gonna make a quick video to show you how I load this plate. I'm gonna run the Tacman Advanced Microarray Human A card. Um, I went to this website and using this number and this number, I downloaded the protocols that is sent to you by email. I placed them in a folder under Sarah's name. Here are all the files that were downloaded, so you have them here. Now, the first thing you gotta notice is that the array card comes in this pouch. When you open it, you'll see that it has a barcode. You have to note that number because you need it to set up the instrument. The other thing that you will need is the master mix, which I am keeping at room temperature. It's asking that everything is at room temperature to prepare. The other thing is that you can prepare multiple cards and you have up to 72 hours to run them. So we can prepare a lot and then run one after another. I'm only going to prepare one today. And for that, I'm going to use your first cDNA 199. I have RNase-free water here and a tube to prepare the mix. I will prepare the mix later. So let me show you how to use this instrument. The instrument can be turned on by pressing a button that is here in the back, and then you will see that the console is on. If you have it on and you don't use it for about 15 minutes, it will shut down, but then you can turn it back in by the touch screen. Now the software that we need to use is called the QuantStudio 12K Flex. When we open this software, there are several ways to start an experiment, but I'm going to show you the one that works the best. You could directly try to run it from the template, but I find that it works better when you just create a new experiment. So here we are in the console to create an experiment, and what I'm gonna do is to follow the directions that are listed in page 20 of the manual that is sent by email. So basically we have to select array card, comparative CT, Tacman, and fast. And then it says that we have to keep the rocks passive reference and we should not change any of that. So if we go here, we're gonna do exactly that. We're gonna select array card, and then we're gonna do comparative delta delta CT, which is the only option that gives us. Tacman and fast are already selected. Now we have to enter the barcode. For our plate is B49330042. I got that from the plate. Username, let's just put Sarah's name. Clicking the wrong thing. Okay, so now that we have this set up, we're gonna make sure everything is correct. Now we're gonna go to define. And here we can select one by one what is the microRNA that is in each well. However, because we downloaded that template, we can go to File, Import Plate Setup, and now we're gonna go browse on Sarah's folder where I have placed the documents. Now you see here that you have several options. So if we go to page 37, which is where the appendix to run the plates, let me just go quickly. It says here that the setup files for our 12K Flex will be these two. See that there's two different ones, a microRNA and advanced microRNA. If you see here, this is an advanced microRNA card, so I'm going to select this second file over here. Doing so should import all the information. So if I click Start Import, here we go. We have all the microRNAs loaded for all the wells in this plate. So this is how the plate's gonna look like and where every microRNA is loaded, see? So now we gotta set up the run method. So that is also listed on page 20. After explaining how to set up the protocol, it says here that there are 3 steps, 10 minutes and 92, 95 degrees 1 second, and 60 degrees 20 seconds. And the second and third step had to be repeated 40 cycles. And then that we confirm that the reaction volume is 1 microliter. So we're gonna do that. The reaction volume is 1 microliter. Now this step as we just saw, has to be at 92 for 10 minutes. When you're gonna switch a time, if you put 0 here, it will not take it, so change the minutes first, and then the seconds. I'm saving you time. All right, so this is the hold stage. This is the hot start. And then here we have 40 cycles, and as it said here is 95 degrees for 1 second, which is correct, and 60 degrees for 20 seconds, that is correct. So we're ready to run this plate. So if we go to run, if this is green, that means that the instrument is connected. So I'm going to prepare the plate now, and then I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to try to show this so that you can see it. So now the plate is at room temperature, so I take it out of the pouch and I place it in the bench with the foil facing down. Alright, so I loaded the sample, put 100 microliters in each of those wells. You see that the volume is there. Now we're going to centrifuge the plate so that it gets to the little well. The centrifuge in our lab comes from here. Unfortunately, it doesn't, when we open this lid, it doesn't stay up, so you have to hold it. Okay, I put that to keep it in place, but what you will need are these buckets. If they're not in the centrifuge, they will be over here. Because we're only running one card, we're gonna use one card and one card to balance. We're gonna use these 2 buckets. They are clearly marked, telling you which side goes out. And then the other thing that they recommend is that you put cards in all the slots. But we have also cards that came for calibration, and they're all placed in the refrigerator that is in the middle over there, and they're clearly labeled. So I'm gonna bring them over. That you're going to find over there, and see there's plenty of cards here. These are the ones that we use for calibration, but you can use to calibrate the balance. Okay, I just put the balance cards. As you can see, they're labeled with the dice. And see, this is what you gotta make sure that you have. That when you look at the bucket, that you see the barcode, okay? And that the wells, the side that show the wells, is facing the side that says this side out, as indicated over here. The side where you loaded the samples is facing out, which is exactly what you need. Okay, so next we gotta set up the centrifuge. The bucket type, you switch by clicking here. 15679, which is what it shows in here. And then the ramp rate should be 9 up, 9 down, which is what we have. And the RPMs, 1200 and 1 minute. Okay, so this is this is in minutes. All right, so we're ready to go. I'm gonna set it up. Good. You open the centrifuge from here, and then you can put that, keep it in place. Now you can see that the liquid has gone in the wells. Alright, I just took it out, and what you have to verify is that the filling is consistent, meaning that what is left in each of the wells is the same. Don't worry if you don't see tiny volumes like they're represented there. What matters is that it is okay. Now we're going to seal the card. So we're going to take it out, and we're going to proceed to use this. This, if it's not outside in this bench, we typically keep it in one of these drawers. So this is the correct way to place the card. So you're going to have it with the reservoirs at the ending position, and we're going to place it. See, the reservoirs are here, and we're going to place it facing down. All right, show this in the video, but you have to press it until it clicks. Okay, you may have to do a little bit of pressure to make sure that this is clicked in. Okay, I just did it, I can't take it out, but make sure that these pins are holding the plate. So if you put it backwards, the plate's gonna be ruined. So make sure that you see the number 1 here, that the plate is in proper position, and that is the stock. Now we gotta seal it, so I need my 2 hands to do that. But here is explained, and also I have a video from when Chong Ben did it.
Slowly but steadily.
You roll faster than that. Though.
Yeah, get on with it. There you go.
That's perfect. That sounded
This
just
is how it looks afterwards, and it says make sure that you remove it before moving this again. All right, so we're gonna take it out, and again I'm gonna need my 2 hands because it's stuck here. It was fairly simple to take it out. You just make sure you use your fingers here, and then you press over here, and it will come out. So now we're ready. We have to cut the top part. Okay, I use scissors to cut the top. Make sure that you cut it right. And now we're ready to put in there. We're back here. There's 2 ways to open the instrument. One is to go in here. It turned off because it was more than 15 minutes. So let's just wait until the power's on. So one is to press this button. The other one is you go on instrument to the console. So, then you have to click on the instrument, and then you click on open door. Right? So I just did it with that button. It's much easier. Now make sure that this says array card. I put the block for array cards, and this also needed to be switched. Okay, so to switch this, you press here and then you lift. So there's one for each type of plate that we run. I'm gonna leave it on array cards. Now to place the wells, I don't know if you can see there. No, you can't, but the wells have letters and numbers. So you gotta make sure that you put A1 here where it says A1. The other way to know is that the barcode is going to face you. Now to close the door, we can do the same thing, or we can click here, close door. Sorry, I didn't click on the instrument. Close door, there we go. So it went in, and now we gotta go back. Just the way you do it, you can close the console here, and you can go back where we were. So now we gotta select our instrument, and now it's gonna ask us where we want to save the experiment. I am going to again go to status folder, and I'm going to name it as sample 199. You can always change the name afterwards. You can change a lot of things afterwards. And it just starts. So 2 things you're gonna see here, the time remaining now after it loads the program, and then you can also come here and monitor how the amplification looks like. So I'm gonna wait a few minutes until it starts. Reaction, so it's only gonna take 50 minutes, so I'll just stay here and wait for it. Okay, so it just finished. So here it shows you the amplification. You can again go by one, but overall this looks pretty normal. The only thing that that you will need to know is that you need to click here on export, and then you can select what you want to export. We're gonna export everything, and but basically typically what I do, I just go on the amplification and I only export the CT values, but in this case we are just going to export everything because we're going to analyze it with the online tool. So I'm just going to click on our folder. This is where it's going to be exported, and then here again the file names typically are very long, so I'm just going to name them with the sample number. It has the date and it has a run number. So you go here to start export, and it exports it as a text file.